Hello, welcome to the Flex Your Influence show. I am Margaret Hernandez, and I am your host and the CEO and founder of SocializeLA. And I am here with my friend Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hey.
Amy and I met during COVID, so we are a COVID friendship. Amy became a member of the Flex Your Influence community, which you hear me talk about. And I have seen Amy at the very beginning of knowing her. I just saw that her business was very relevant. She's going to talk all about it. She is a SEO expert, Google Analytics expert, and I just really appreciate her skill and I admire her. That's why she's here today, because first of all, she has an amazing story of how she has transformed her online presence, her modern marketing, and how she's leveraged that for speaking, for growing her audience, growing her business. And then she's also very proactive outside of social media in growing her business. So it's just been really great to see her blossom and to see her business grow and expand the way that it has. So Amy, introduce yourself.
Oh my God, I love that. Thank you. I'm going to blush in embarrassment now. My name is Amy. I am your giggling Google guru, as I have been named by my clients. And I did hashtag that, people. So hashtag it. What I do is I work with businesses around the world. I do have international clients now. And what I do is I help people who need search engine optimization or Google Analytics, but it feels so overwhelming and complicated. What they want is a simple solution that does not cost them a fortune or leave them working 24/7 after we're done. So that's me in a nutshell. As of yesterday, I had people tell me I am turning the SEO industry on its head. So, ooh.
Own it. Own it. That's
Yes.
amazing. I love it. I am so excited for you. There's so many ways I want to take this conversation, but I do want to focus on our audience. Because I could sit here and just talk about all of our antics and but I know I'm putting on my small business owner hat. I know that small business owners get bombarded with calls from people who want to help them with their SEO. You know, one person is going to charge $99, another person's going to charge $9,000. Like, Amy, what is your take on that? I know what my take on it is, and maybe we can compare notes, but what do you say to small business owners who are just fielding calls like that?
Beware, it's spam. Have a set of questions ready to go. And what you need to ask is, what are you doing? Give me specifics, and do you document what you're doing? Why what I do is so different is I give you how-to videos. I show you because I love Loom. Loom is my favorite app.
Yeah,
And I will literally show you as I update or connect something to your website. You will see the actual steps. I have client workbooks that aren't for the client. I do all the work, and I literally document what your original statement was, why it had to change, and what it was updated to.
Wow.
And when we're done, you get 3 workbooks that I have filled out that you download, so you have a record of the work I do.
That's amazing. So it's not just because I think with these programs, they prey on small businesses that don't know any better. And that's why we're here. Seriously, like, me, like, as a business owner, if you're watching this, or a marketer, me, and that's a resource. Whether you've ever hired me or ever will hire me, that's beside the point. We are here to let you know that you have resources. And now I'm introducing you to another resource that specifically is SEO, Google Analytics. And hopefully in 2022, Amy will help SocializeLA clients too, because I love the documentation. We do need some checks and balances. A lot of these people, they'll do some things in the background and maybe represent your company with blogs and stuff that don't represent your company at all. And it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, well, and the main thing you need to understand is that SEO is like two diverse fields. So are you hiring someone to do algorithms, which Google says if you focus on your algorithms, which is all those backlinks, the techie things you're never going to see, you're gaming the system. You will never actually get ahead using algorithms consistently.
Mhm.
You know, the other side of SEO is content-based SEO, which is more where I focus, and I call it ideal client focused. Who is your ideal client? You know, there's an old adage in marketing, if you sell to the world, you sell to no one.
Yep.
And it's so true. I
Yep.
don't want the world on your website. I know that sounds harsh, but I don't. I want users going to your website who are going to buy from you, right? That's who we want. We want who is your ideal client, get them to your website.
Mhm.
And when you focus on ideal client, it's a long game. Like in 6 months, my average client increases organic traffic by 750%.
Wow.
A year later, they have probably increased by around 1,000%.
Excellent. Actually, I'd like to hire you. Or if you're taking clients, I know you always have a waiting list. But
I got rid of the waiting list. I'm hiring instead. So
yes.
I'm
Okay. Awesome.
continuing taking on clients.
Okay. So let's have a conversation after this call.
Sounds good.
So small business owners, I don't even know, I'm not 100% sure how much Amy charges for her service, but um, I know that I need those views to my website. And I know that that's where a lot of the big content lives, is on the website.
Yep.
How you book a call with me, how you buy a discovery session, how you buy a package, how you join our Flex Your Influence community. So if all the conversion is on our website, I think I need more views.
You need better views.
Better views. Yeah.
It's just
I love that.
SEO is just like it's digital marketing. It's not about the quantity, it's about
Right.
the quality.
Exactly.
All you need is one qualified buyer. So
Yep.
why bring in 10 unqualified buyers if they're just going to look at your
Or
website?
1,000.
Right. They're just going to ruin your data. I mean, I'm looking at engagement time. So how long are people
Yes.
actually engaged on your website?
Yes.
That's what we're tracking.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because business owners, marketers, I think we focus a lot on what are our social media numbers.
Mhm.
And it's, again, that's another metric. It's important. It's something that we want to see. We want to see that needle moving. Absolutely. But I always say, what's the call to action? What do we want people to do? What action do we want them to take? And then are they taking it?
Yep.
And a lot of that will live. Yes, you can have like a bit.ly where you're tracking how many people clicked on that. But at the end of the day, your website is like your home base. So if you don't have a storefront, that is your storefront. So
Yep.
you need to know who's walking in the door. How long are they staying? Think about yourself. You walk into a boutique, you're spending an hour. Did you buy anything? Are you coming back? Did you have a conversation? Did you put your name on an email list? Did you snap a photo and put it on Instagram? Like, what are your people doing?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So Amy, I do know the basics, and I do know I do know some really tried and true tools, like the content that you're putting out on social media, your blog, consistent content is building up your SEO.
Yep.
But there's a piece of that SEO, the one that I want for my own business, and that's taking it to that next level and really understanding the data.
Yeah. And that's where Google Analytics is going to come in, because I believe in being held accountable, and we're going to be held accountable by the actual data that's coming into your website.
Yep.
So SEO is, you're actually not doing SEO if you can't measure it. That's all it is. It's an analytical tool. So you have to measure it. So I connect Google Analytics 4, not Universal. Universal is becoming widely illegal, and Google is constantly in court right now fighting off lawsuits, which they're losing, because of their illegal practices for tracking people using universal analytics and other tracking tools within the Google product world. So I'm very specific. You will use Google Analytics for. As a user to websites, I would much rather have you monitoring my behavior with GA4 than UA, because you're not collecting nearly the data we did before. And that's good.
Yep.
Is good. And there's a way to use the data we still get. So
Great.
I'm going to measure my basics are I'm looking at retention. When you get a new user, what percentage stays and becomes a direct user? That needs to be a minimum of 10%. If you are not at that range, you don't know who your ideal client is, and we're bringing the wrong person in. All there is to it. Your engagement time, Google Analytics 4 does this fantastic thing now, where if someone is not scrolling or going through your website, they're not engaged. So they don't get counted as traffic. So you're looking at engagement time. Your direct traffic probably is only spending 30 seconds on your homepage because they know you exist. But you're hoping direct traffic is spending a couple minutes on your website because they're probably looking for something else. Your Google organic traffic, as we focus on Google organic traffic, all your other search engines are going to improve. And you want them on your website for between a minute and 3. Like there's all these parameters we put into place so you can measure, is your website working?
Excellent. Excellent. And some of this might be a little technical.
Just smile and nod. Yeah.
It's just important to know, like, just because something in our business is technical and over our head, and I will relate that for myself to business finances. Sometimes the terms and the numbers and the antics that my accountant wants me to do and separate is like, oh my gosh, can't we just count revenue? Why do we have to count revenue, type of service, and so on and so forth? And because it tells a better picture.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about here.
Yep.
We're talking about a better picture.
And what it's really cool is that this is why I do video, because just talking about it means nothing, right? I make sure you see what I'm talking about, so you see the correlation. So yeah, because I get it. There are days I'm like, really, did I just say that?
I know. I sometimes, if I'm in a conversation with a friend, maybe they're a business owner, maybe they're not, but they start asking me about what I do and they start digging. I don't dig immediately. I just say I'm in marketing. Like that's all that needs to be said. But if they start digging, I'm like, okay, you're going to open up a box. I love what I do and I am not going to shut up.
Yep. I am getting to that point because people ask, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm in search engine optimization, and it's like blue.
Yeah. This is how I describe Google search. Okay. Google's entire existence is to give us the best answer when we type a question to Google. That's their whole goal and purpose. If they are not giving us those answers, then they are not Google. Then we're going to go somewhere else to find our answers, find our products that we're looking for. So what Google does is they have created their Google Analytics to help businesses, I think, to show up when they need to show up for results.
Yep.
And they're going to serve up these results. Now, you may not even want to show up for any old result. Marketing agency in Los Angeles. Like, I debate, like, is that where I want to show up? Because there's so many agencies and we're so different. And I'm hoping that working with Amy is going to help me to narrow in who is it? Because I can do business with a lot of different people. We have students in our Flex Your Influence community who are just starting their company. They don't even have a client yet. That's how new they are to business. And then we're working with a restaurant chain in Los Angeles that's celebrating their 50th anniversary this year.
Oh, and I already have a plan for you.
So tell me that my two clients that are SocializeLA clients are not on completely different sides of the spectrum, and I can help them both.
Right? So here's the thing. Here's what gets every small business confused. Google doesn't connect to your website, right? You
Mm,
think your website is a big thing, right?
yes.
No, they're connecting to web pages.
Pages. Yes.
So you on your homepage need to focus on who is the client you really want to draw in. Like what are the characteristics of that ideal client?
Mhm.
But you're going to do two separate web pages.
Yeah.
After that, you're going to do a web page for how Socialize LA can help the just starting out business. You're going to talk about being a new business and what services you can provide for them at their level. And then you're going to talk about the businesses you help that have their pros. They've been in this for 10 plus years. They need a whole different level of marketing, and how
Mhm.
you can bring your boutique brand of consultants in to show them how to take their marketing the next level so they survive for the next 10 to 50 years.
Excellent. I love it. I love it.
And that's what you do. It's what I do that is so different is I'm taking the information you give me and I break it down to the lowest level. What is the roots of what you're saying so that we can grow effectively from that?
Yes. I love that. So I'm learning something new and I am really happy about that. I am always here to learn. Um, and really at the end of the day, it's like, okay, is this out of my comfort zone? No, it's not really out of my comfort zone to spend money on someone coming in to help me do something. Is it out of my comfort zone um to just add something else to my plate, right? It's
Yes.
like adding
Right.
something to my plate. And it's like, okay, I have to pick and choose, but to me, this is important.
Well, at the end of the day, when I hire a coach, this is what I'm looking at. What do I have to pay for them? And how many clients do I need to bring in? And will my end result bring in that many clients?
Right.
I like analytics. I need to have numbers to work with.
Yeah, I like that. No, that's important. And people, when people work with SocializeLA, they want to know that too. Like, when are we? And what I have to, we have to all set realistic goals. I know that there's a process. And, with us, your social media is only a piece of the puzzle. Like, what other activities are you doing to strengthen and bring in additional eyes? So, what other marketing activities? What's your sales process like?
Yeah.
Are you answering emails?
Right. Like,
Yeah.
well, and that's kind of where I come in. Is it's not just about your website, it's that digital. What's
Yeah.
your digital presence? How does it all connect? And how do you get those people to drive back to your
Right.
website?
Right.
So
And
one
Amy,
of
you
the
actually sent a client to us
Mhm.
for their consistent content marketing and social
Yep.
media.
Yep. Which it all comes together. Like having a strategy is so important in digital media. And it's one of the things I do for my clients too, is in your case, it would be a whole different ballgame, but
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
I've
but
got all the content writers.
right. And it's like, where do we find your ideal client? Where do you really need to put that digital energy in if you're doing it by yourself?
Right.
And that's where we focus and we build a strategy based on your website and using that social media
Right.
platform.
Now, as you know, the audience that's going to watch this, they're diverse. Some have
Right.
no team members, some have a handful, and then
Yep.
some have several. So, but it doesn't matter because no matter what, we're a small business. There's always someone who's wearing multiple hats.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that it makes all the difference. And I know like I work with a variety of industries. Like I've worked manufacturing, health and wellness,
Yep.
software. Like I'm
Consultants,
helping.
business consultants. Mhm.
I've been talking to corporations.
Mhm.
Like it's not, I mean, it's businesses. Business is business and you need to know what you're doing. And I come in
Perfect.
and lay that SEO foundation. So
I love it. Well, we are definitely going to have more Amy around. And I also want to just let you know that if you're watching this and you are a Flex Your Influence community member, Amy is going to do a private Q&A for our members only. So you can bring your real questions and she's going to answer them. And so we're really excited about that. We have here in the caption of this video all the ways that you can connect with Amy. If you have any questions, you can always come to me as well. And we just want to help you to take your website to the next level, take your business to the next level, and help you to flex your influence. So thank you so much for watching with us, and we will see you on the next one.